Hey, welcome back to Daily Hope. I've got a question. What is the one most important thing that we could do to bring blessing and prosperity to our nation? Well, I suggested a couple days ago a verse. It's Psalm 33, verse 12. Here's what it says: Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord, the people whom he has chosen for his own inheritance. Now, I mentioned to you a couple days ago that verse, if you go to Boston and you visit the campus of Harvard University, you can find that verse etched into gates. That verse was part of the motto long before the United States even existed. That area was just a colony, and the Reverend John Harvard, along with other Puritan pastors, established it as a Bible seminary. Later, Yale would be established as a Bible seminary, and Princeton, and so forth. Those early 10 universities that were all started by Christians eventually multiplied out into all the state universities, many of which were also started as Bible seminaries. Those universities also became the origin of local hospitals like Massachusetts General, still one of the top hospitals in the country. The science that has changed the world and doubled the human lifespan, the education that has lifted humanity from darkness and has spread all around the globe, literally started at these Christian institutions who had mottos like, "Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord." You know, the United States has never been a perfect nation. And sadly, most people who are younger than me are taught all of the things that the U.S. has done wrong. And there are plenty. But they're not taught about what it ever did right. There are some good things that have happened in this nation, like the ending of slavery during the Civil War. Did you know that the overthrow of slavery in the Civil War, that was 1865, that the Civil War ended? That was actually the result of a revival movement that swept through the country called the Second Great Awakening. And during the Second Great Awakening, Bible teachers like Charles Finney and others were teaching Americans to have a personal relationship with God, to read the Bible for themselves. And as thousands and eventually millions of Americans were reading the Bible for themselves, they started to form groups called abolitionists for the abolishing or the ending of slavery. And ultimately, we overthrew slavery in this land because of the Bible and a great revival called the Second Great Awakening. When did the First Great Awakening occur? You maybe have heard of a guy named Jonathan Edwards or a guy named George Whitefield. Those guys led a revival about 30 years before the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. And the thinking that shaped those founding documents was birthed out of the Great Awakening. There was a third Great Awakening in the late 1800s, guys like D.L. Moody. And that third Great Awakening raised up a generation who would then go fight in World War II. They are known to this day as, quote, the greatest generation. And it's not an exaggeration to say that that generation literally freed the world from fascism and tyranny when Nazi Germany and the Empire of Japan were going to take over the whole world. And these farm boys showed up, and people showed up in factories. And the U.S., if it had not been involved, World War II would not have ended the way that it did. And those people, that generation, they were trained up during the Third Great Awakening. What I'm praying for right now is a fifth Great Awakening in our country. I'm praying that God will use our young people at our church. We're seeing revivals starting to happen among our high school students. We're praying that God would use us to change enough cities around Indianapolis that we change the capital, and then we change the state of Indiana. And I'm praying, you guys, that God would use our church to be an inspiration to other churches, to change other cities. Get this, it's not that hard for God. If we change enough cities, we change enough states, we could actually change a nation. God could do this. America could, again, be a nation whose God is the Lord, but it won't happen without two things. We got to be on our knees praying for revival every day, a reviving of Christianity in our land. And secondly, we've got to be all in on raising up another greatest generation, a spiritually strongest generation, because you guys, our young people are growing up in a world that does not know right from wrong, celebrates evil, and Christians are mocked and slandered. But over time, those young people who have character and do what's right, they will rise to the top like Daniel did in Babylon, like Esther did in ancient Persia, and God will use them maybe in our lifetimes, or maybe 30 or 40 or 50 years from now. We can be part of a fifth great awakening that turns the nation back to God. How? Pray for it every day, and then join our movement, give toward it, serve toward it. If you've got time to serve, we will show you where to serve. Maybe you don't have time, but you've got money to give. Make it part of your legacy that you helped shape a generation that changed a nation, that brought about a fifth great awakening, so that this light of the world of Jesus can shine brighter and brighter. Okay, I get excited about this. I'll see you tomorrow for more Daily Hope.